Hey, what's up? I'm Lance Prince, and today we're checking out the STL ControlHub tracer feature. This is a new feature in the plugin, and it's used to capture signal chains, parts and pieces of signal chains. You can use it for analog stuff, you can use it for digital chains as well. And today we're going to be checking out the new Polaris single Nightmare, where I use distressor on kick and snare. And we're going to test out the tracer, see if it can match it, and then I can move the distressors onto something else. I guess that's the beauty of the plugin. You can capture something in one spot and then move that whole chain to another spot, or just capture it and ditch the chain altogether, which would be quite useful for me whenever I tour. I'm usually mixing stuff on a laptop, and this way I can start the mix at home with all my analog stuff, capture all the analog stuff in the plugin, and then just transfer it to my laptop. No need to run in and out of gear. I can have the same sound. And yeah, so let's get into it. This is the part we'll be checking out. So the top distressor is the kick, bottom one is the snare. You can see the top one on the kick's doing about 5 to 7 dB gain reduction. The snare one gets up to around 10. So I'm just going to go through and get into the plugin and go through the whole process with it. So it's on the kick. It's a in-out in Logic, which is just in the utility section of the plugins, which basically that's running out of my interface out to the distressor and back in. And that's just on the kick bus. So let's load up ControlHub, go to the tracer, and we've got two options. We can go to complete signal chain or compressor. In this case, I am using the distortion mode on the distressor, and I know when you just do the compressor tracer, it has some guidelines to choose from and no distortion modes. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go complete signal chain. And basically, I just want to copy one setting. I don't want to have the ability to tweak attack and release as much as the compressor already has. So I just want to capture this one setting. So I'm just going to go complete signal chain, which in theory should capture all the distortion and stuff as well. So we're going to locate the file, import it into the DAW. I hit locate, shows where it comes up in my Finder. And then I've just simply dragged and dropped it over to here in this tracer file track. And I'm just going to run the audio file through the compressor. So I can get out of this. Now, this is just the file, stereo file, but I've chose the left side because I'm doing a mono instance. So this will just send out mono. Here is the input of the compressor. So that's going out, output 3, which is the kick compressor, input 3, which is the return of the kick compressor. And this is what the file sounds like. So it's going to do a bunch of crazy stuff. It gets very loud over here. And in theory, I'm going to match my gain reduction off of this part of the file because it seems to be the most full range. It's got highs, it's got lows. So if I just hit play, you can see that it's sort of exactly where I need it to be in terms of gain reduction. So I'm just going to roll with that. And now we just record it in. All right, so that's it. We have done the trace. Now we just need to export it. So we'll call this distress or kick trace. Export audio. It's gonna, whack it in the desktop. Cool. And now we just go to the plugin. We'll import the the trace, which is just this guy. That's all good. Trace it in mono. It is a mono signal. If you have a stereo signal, it will detect that and give you the option. So it's just doing its thing, analyzing the file, and then we should be able to use it very shortly. Okay, here we go. So I can hit save, chuck it in my folder. So distressor kick bus. It is for drums. Color, it's on dist 2. Yes. Polaris LP3. So, cool. Now that is in my tracer presets. If you do just the individual compressors, it will come up here. I believe you can also do the compressors from here, just in the dynamics section. I'm just going to swing over to the snare and do that again real quick, and then we'll do some testing. So with this one, it's coming in a little quiet. So I'm going to turn up the tracer file a little bit. Cool. Now I'm good to record. Sweet. So that is the snare done now as well. Export that. Tracer, complete signal chain, import. There it is. It is all good. Trace mono. Cool. Chuck that in my folder. Drums. Dist 2 there as well. Cool. So now they are both in there. Now we're good to do some testing. So we'll check out kick first. So this is kick with distressor. And now we'll load up the trace. Kick bus. Sounds how I expected it to sound. Sounds like a distressor. I might say that the compression is too much and maybe a bit slow. You can sort of hear it on the first kick. And the best thing about it is we can make some tweaks. Might even need a little bit more high end. Sweet. I would say that that's definitely close enough for me to not worry about using a $2,000 compressor. So that hurts a little bit, but let's move on to the snare. So this is with the distressor. Turn off the verb and go to a more busy part maybe. And let's load in ControlHub. Presets, snare. heavy-handed for sure. Some more high-end again. I would say that that's the distortion coming through with some variance, but that's not a problem. Yeah, same again. I would say that that's close enough for me to be happy. I might even like it better, honestly. It just has this sort of front end like attack that the actual distressor sort of has, but this is more exacerbated. I'm sure I could get it closer with tweaking further, but honestly, it's like within the margin for me. It's absolutely fine. So let's play a bit of the track with them. Pretty indistinguishable in a mix. So yeah, I am very stoked on that. And that's it. That's how you use the STL ControlHub tracer to clone your gear and give you infinite amounts of it. We just cloned about 4,000 Australian dollars of compression and moved it into a plugin, which is a fraction of the price. And yeah, I mean, there's no limits to this. You can do it in the digital realm and the analog realm. Full signal chains of crazy dumb shit all together. And yeah, there is one other part of this plugin, which is a new addition as well. We now have the tone exchange. So when you make your traces, whether they're presets or compressors, you can save them here. So we'll get out of that. Go here, right click, upload to tone exchange. And do that one as well. There we go, tone exchange. And there we are. There's my 2 presets that I just made. So now everyone who has ControlHub can use the kick and snare sound from Polaris' new album. That about wraps it up. That's how you use the new feature and how people can access everybody's presets. I hope you guys like this video. Hope you guys like the feature in the plugin. I think it's going to be a very powerful tool, especially once everyone's traces get uploaded. There will be no shortage of different things you can use from all these different producers all over the world. So that is pretty damn sick.